Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Gamestah TV. We do apologize for the technical issues we're having today. It doesn't seem to be on the production side. It does seem to be a Twitch thing. So we're having a look to see if Twitch has had any outages. We've tried two different methods of connecting through to them. The second one connected through, but we still had lag, and so much lag, in fact, that the game that was streamed got delayed by about 13 minutes. We dropped the stream at the end of that game, hoping that the Twitch buffer would just continue through and play the game. And in the end, it actually dropped the game halfway through. Well, we do have a recording of that game locally, and we will be uploading that to YouTube. So you'll be able to catch all of the action on our YouTube channel later on today. I'll make sure that we prioritize uploading that as soon as possible. Well, that's enough of the excuses. The stream's live again, and hopefully there's not going to be too much buffering this time around. I'll hand you back over to our commentators for the day, Skimmy and Vandy, who are going to be taking us through game number 2.
That's the one, Crisis. Game number 2 now, Vandy 1, Infernal Shrines. We've got Hiccup's team once again, but this time they're up against the Shadow and his roster. So, different type of draft for this one. And Matt, that you commonly see niche picks like Kerrigan and even Sonya.
I mean, we've seen Sonya sort of fall off the face of the earth, but Variant, on the other hand, has made a big comeback into the Nexus with style. Basically, he does what Sonya does and does it a little bit better, people find. And right off the bat, Skimmy, Diablo's been banned for this. I'd say that's an interesting one. I wouldn't call him high priority, but I guess since it's Hiccup's team doing the ban, I believe, they just didn't want to deal with any more of those huge impact apocalypses. And same with Artanis. They saw Hiccup playing Artanis, and they were like, nope, we have none of that. And there's a Kerrigan right there. We know she excels on this map, just with how good she is at taking the objective and killing the little minions to spawn the Infernal.
I think these are more so sort of counter picks, like you mentioned. They don't want to go up against a combination where they can potentially run the Bloodlust and the Earthquake, and likewise, like you said, they saw how he played on the Artanis. They don't want to have any of that, and as a result, they go, cool, we'll go for the Kerrigan. We know how well Kerrigan can play hopscotch in this map. But the interesting way is how Blue Side now respond to this one. We've typically seen picks like Vala Oriel being picked straight off the bat, even Tessadar Tychus or Tychus and Mouth. So a lot of different ways they can go for this one. Just depends how they want to try and counter this Kerrigan.
I'd say they're just gonna, for her, I guess they're just gonna need, hard hitters and just a good support, really. So I think Malfurion might be quite nice to prioritize, but no, they've gone with the Brightwing instead, giving them a little bit of that global, as well as that AoE sort of passive healing.
Brightwing and ETC. We'll have to see what ultimate ETC goes later on to this game when this pop fully rounds out.
It depends. I think he'll sort of pick strategically depending on what the rest of the team comp is. But judging by these picks, he might want to go a little bit more of that Mosh, perhaps, to lock down, I guess, anyone following up on Zarya if she takes that expulsion zone. But stage dive is definitely not off the table, not off the cards.
Already a very strong comp and response coming out of red side there. Kerrigan, Zarya, and Tychus. Zarya almost acting like the Tessadar and the Ufa back in the day, where you'd had to put a lot of protection on that Kerrigan to make sure she can live long enough to actually make the combination work. But Tychus as well gives them a fair few options, whether or not they want the laser for the push and the point control, or even if they want the Odin for that heavy-hitting AoE control.
It's good to see, I guess, Tychus's Odin getting a lot more play nowadays as well. It used to just sort of be a bit of a dead talent, but I guess people are starting to see that it can actually bring a lot of oomph to the fight and a lot of boost to Tychus's overall teamfight damage.
Rhaegar being banned away. Now, I'm just curious whether or not they wanted Rhaegar in the first place. Bloodlust is obviously still strong in the composition they have, but would they have gone for Ancestral? I think they're still hovering their money on this Mouth or potentially Oriel, but no real clear pick for Oriel to generate hope on that side so far. The interesting part now is what red team decide to ban away. Nothing really being shown on the cards here. Vala would be a clear pick, or even Falster would be a clear pick to try and deny some heavy-hitting damage. But they go for the Thrall. The Sundering and the Earthquake, just too much to try and disrupt what they're trying to achieve.
I think, they're going to once again want to pick up that Mouth. I just have a feeling, because like you said, with Oriel, there's no real hope generator, except for Tychus, which is still respectable, but Mouth just did so much for them last game. And it's open essentially, unless they want to run 2 supports, which I highly doubt for the blue team. They're going to be wanting to like lock in their damage now, and I guess figure out what's the best way of blowing up this Tychus and Kerrigan.
Well, they've got the Brightwing. Is the dream Tracer?
A dead dream, maybe. I don't think she's the hero they need. I know she says the world could always use more heroes, but she's not the one we need right now. But I'm thinking what they want, I guess, is, I was going to say someone a little bit more durable and someone with a lot of burst. Maybe like a Li Ming or even Kael'thas with his damage is pretty safe, but Vala's respectable. It's just going to be, I guess, keeping her safe. I don't know if they have enough yet to keep her safe. Okay, Dahaka is sort of added to that. So they've got a really good front line, I guess, pulled together now for the blue team.
They do need a heavy-hitting last pick, though, for some burst damage. They have a lot of consistent damage, as you mentioned, a fair bit of control as well to try and allow Vala and who else in the back line to do what they need to do. But, yeah, they need to be able to solidify it completely. Karazim, now this is an interesting one. Where is he going to go with this build? Is he going to go for the more conventional support build like we used to see Karazim pick for this map? We used to see Healing Ward the go-to reason that he was so popular on this map. But, you know, with the recent changes, he is a heavy hitter now and definitely can dive in with Kerrigan and end somebody extremely quickly.
I mean, he now, like you said, with his damage potential now, you actually have to view Karazim as more of, I guess, a support hybrid, because he can do damage if left unchecked. And yeah, he's also got dashes to sort of gap close. So what he can do is just, I guess, go on Vala, make her life hell, and then just dash out.
And if that's the case, you zone at the Vala, and then, well, what are you up against? You're up against an ETC. Okay, Dahaka does a fair bit of damage on his own, but if you zoned at the main threat, it's nothing really too scary to contest against. Interesting thing now is it's a last pick for the blue side. Now they need some burst. Li Ming traditionally would be what you'd be looking at. Not the best map for her. That's why you mentioned Kael'thas, but you know the amount of CC and waste for them to jump.
No,
Kael'thas would be a sitting duck.
Sitting duck, exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth, Skimmy. It's going to be an interesting one for them. I'm not really sure where they want to find their damage from. I mean, Ragnaros is still on the board, and he could sort of help them out, but it's a bit of a tough one because I feel like they're just a little bit lower on damage than what we've got on the red team side currently. And also, the red team just sort of answered with 2 tanks with another tank of their own, adding Muradin to their roster. It's a very, very tanky lineup on the red team.
I mean, Gul'dan usually sees a fair bit of play in this map as well, but is Gul'dan what they want? Not the biggest burst. They go for Illidan. Now, that's completely thrown me off my game. I don't really know how to actually put any analysis on that one. Can you make sense of it, Vandy?
I think it was just a panic pick. I guess it might just go down to comfort at the end of the day and what they feel comfortable with. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, auto attackers on their team, and evasion can be quite good at mitigating that. There's no mages. But I think at the end of the day, it might have been the comfort pick coming right out the bat there. Because I don't see a lot of the synergy with Illidan and the rest of the team.
I don't really see much in the way of protecting him, except really from the Brightwing. Only speaking, you're wanting to develop your entire comp around Illidan to maximize and enable his potential. We are eluding key picks like that Tassadar to really allow him to have a fun time. And right now, it seems like 2 fish just coming together and smashing into each other and seeing who can get the first kill first to get the ball rolling.
It's going to be that all mid and just sort of that all mid, all clash. That's what we're going to sort of see rolling out, Skimmy.
I do like to see a fair bit of Illidan. Whenever I watch Rich on the Korean servers, I realize how bad I am at this game. And I always go back to that classic meme, if only I played for 1 extra hour.
I like that. I do. If only, right?
I mean, I could still be a professional. I wouldn't be here as a washed-up player talking about games. But, you know, we can't have all the nice things in the world.
I don't think you're washed up for what it's worth.
Oh.
There's still life there.
This is why we have no webcams on, because I'm blushing right now.
Sorry about that. But, I mean, once again, I'm not surprised. We're going to see Hiccup playing Kerrigan. We've seen him in the past, sort of, I guess, comfortable on that champion, comfortable on that hero.
Yeah.
And that's why he would have been to his team, like, get me that Kerrigan. And
that is definitely a big comfort pick. I know he used to play that back in the day. Like, I'm talking years ago, say late 2015, back in Alpha. He's been playing it that long. So if he chokes on this one, well, guys, you know what Twitch chat needs to do?
Call him out on it. Never let him forget it. And then just, I guess, interesting as well, we saw Cyclone playing Li Ming last game. So he's got a bit of, I guess, a flex role. He seems comfortable playing a couple of champions here, taking more of that tank role this time on Muradin.
Now, I think if we look at the ultimate choice for the Shadow on ETC, I'm veering towards a stage dive, which would then give them 3 globals, which Red side have no globals at all. So Red side definitely look to contest, looking to fight, looking to stay on those points and make things happen. Blue side, they need to try and coordinate this a little bit harder. They had the Illidan obviously thrown into the mix as well, which adds that much more. But if they can try and draw away these members to force these rotations out and take advantages on other parts of the map, they will start to pull ahead. And they'll break apart this very scary red team control.
Exactly right, Skimmy, exactly right. So on the red team, I guess, we've got Hiccup playing Kerrigan, Cyclone and Muradin, Tommy on Karazim, MKL and Zarya, and CZN1 on Tychus.
And on the left-hand side, we have the Shadow playing ETC. Blindside is on Illidan, Coalstar on Brightwing, GL Phoenix on Dahaka, and Fergie Games bringing the damage on Vala. 5 members in the mid lane. Hiccup patiently waiting in the flank, looking for that one member to try and go around the wrong side. Nobody wants to do that. They know how scary this is. Fergie Games juking and baiting, trying to draw some attention here from Hiccup, but he is waiting so patiently.
so patient. It's almost a repeat of last game, I guess. On the Cursed Hollow, when we saw Moops' team just sort of waiting off in the wings, ready to sort of engage, and here we go.
Oh, there's the combo though. There goes the pull. They go for 1. They take out Illidan. The stun did actually connect on 3 members, but they just needed to find 1 kill there. And Illidan, he is unfortunately the one to drop. He himself was not prepared. His quotes weren't in check, and he finds himself being First Blood.
First Blood. It was just unfortunate. We saw the evasion just sort of wear off, and then he was just like, oh, I'm in a bit of a strange situation now, guys. I'm not going to be making it.
Goodbye, Cruel World, and he ran back from the Nexus. Well, he's going to go down to the bottom lane, it seems, so try and get these lanes in check. Now, in terms of wave clear, it does seem to be in favour of the side of Red, as well as the fact that they have this sort of gank control. You can see how wary Blue side are when they're rotating between these lanes, and even just clearing these lanes, they know that people are going to be waiting in these bushes, and they don't want to really present themselves an opportunity to get ganked.
Exactly. I mean, they just need to be worried because this is a much smaller map. They just need to be wary, I guess, of how much rotation that they can quickly and easily do. If you get overextended, you just need to worry. Well, not so much worry, but just watch out that you're not going to get sort of flanked and ganked.
Now, to answer our point during the draft, we were wondering what level 1 talent Karazim would be going for. Now, he has gone for the more traditional Transcendence. That's the healing talent on every 3rd basic attack. So, doesn't say that he's not going to go full-out aggression later on in this one, but this is definitely a big reason why Karazim on top of the healing ward was a strong pick on this map. Damage as well as control.
Damage and control, and I mean, they're already fighting out for the shrine now. Either team, I guess, committing too much. They're just focusing on getting as many of those skeletons as possible, but there's going to be a fight breaking out soon. It's just that they're just trying to suck out as much experience as possible out of the lane.
Well, it looks like the fight is about to begin now because Geo Phoenix has burrowed in. He's dropped to half straight away. There goes the power slide. Also, with Blindside jumping on into the fray, the Earth ally has been dropped. That's going to deny a lot of damage, but it seems to be that the aggression is in favour of the blue side right now. They're looking for the combination. They're going to the Shadow, drop to 100, having to bait away now. Great dash to dash out of that Hiccup stun, but Blindside does find the kill. Actually, he drops in the process, as it was actually 2 against his own side, so even baiting myself of that one. Red side getting the aggression, they get the kill, they play it patiently, and they just find the right moment to execute.
It was really just, I guess, MVP was Red side's turrets. It was just bring the fight back there. Unfortunately, it was just not enough. That's what finished off the members of the blue team. That's really sad to see because they were playing such a good fight. So, I guess, what's the word there? Just a really good fight, Skimmy. Sorry, my brain's just having a bit
I'll save you with this one. I'll talk about the Punisher. Now, the Punisher, he's going to jump across. He's a multi-Punisher, arguably one of the weaker ones. We don't like the Frost Punisher, and we don't like the Laser Punisher. But that's why when he spews out a bit of Molten, you stand there, you get healed up, life goes on. Now, Dahaka has already burrowed to the top lane. He's going to try and even out the level deficit. It's already a half level, make that 3.5 quarters of a level in favour of Red side right now as a result of both that Punisher and that trade. But like you said, the fight was seeming to be in their favour. It just happened to go around as a result of that turret. But the Shadow, he's seen that his camp's being taken away. He wants to force a fight before level 7 talents are being picked up. Geo Phoenix is going to burrow in, but he's made that a 5v4 straight away. Look at this. Every member stacked on top of each other. Hiccup has gone away. He has been absolutely righteous. running away, saying, rest of our team, please live. And, well, was that camp worth it?
I guess no. Short of the spectrum, no. But I mean, Blindside giving Hiccup a lot of work to do, just dancing around him every time Hiccup tries to impale him, just dashing out or jumping around, and that's, I guess, the beauty of Illidan. So if he can continue to do that, and if Hiccup's got his attention fixed on him, that's actually really good for the blue team. So it's actually working out in their favor quite well, Skimmy.
A lot of threats that need to try and keep in check, and you almost feel like they're kind of reliant on that Kerrigan to land a big stun. The amount of dashes and jumps and avoidance techniques they have, a lot of pressure is on him to make it land and allow the fight's momentum to swing in their favor. But definitely to Dahak, with the global pressure that they have, you can see another member really allowed them to actually swing that fight and win that one back.
And I mean, just worth, I guess, pointing out, Bella's gone the multi-shot build as opposed to the auto-attack build, which I think is quite smart. Just getting in the poke where she can and clearing the lanes better, because that's just what you said the blue team was lacking. So good to see that pickup. And Zarya going the whole, I guess, regen orb stacking, taking, I guess, talent points that'll like let her stack up based on her regen orbs. And Blindside here, Skimmy, almost getting caught out.
He's looking to make things happen once again. He's been zoned out already. Evasion is down. He's going to go for the tap, leaving his entire team there, saying, I'm coming back, just hang on. It's not going to be enough, though, because ETC gets taken out. The second tank is looking to try and survive for as long as he can, but the essence is not going to be enough. He's going to dash away. He gets taken out. Both tanks, as the Shrine is now active, an unfortunate set of timings. Blindside forced to respond to this fallen Shaman and the rest of his dogs, who are trying to really be a nuisance here, but to finish off your point there about Zarya, yeah, definitely got a full shield, full tank, full annoyance build, but Blindside, well, he's not phased. He runs into free, he runs away, takes a bit more damage, and he thinks maybe it wasn't the right decision to make right there.
I mean, MKL's just really focusing on that energy management, making sure that he can stay basically as close to full energy all the time as possible, and that's when Zarya becomes a bit of a threat. Just a monster, in fact, and Hiccup just dancing around on the point there, just capping all the minions. That's why Kerrigan is a little bit ridiculous on this map.
39 to 40.
And here we go, Skimmy, they're stalling it out.
Yeah, you can see that Blue Side have actually completely sacrificed this one. Dahaka soaking mid, they got Brightwing soaking bot. Level 10 is just on the cusp right now for Red Team to pick it up. You can see they're going to get 10 and then completed. 0 skulls are being picked up by Blue Side, but not without trying to go for a team fight first. This could be an interesting time to do it because ultimates are being picked up. They're going to go for the first kill. This is disastrous right now for Blue Team, almost baiting themselves into the most unfavourable set of circumstances whatsoever. They lose 2 members, they don't have 10, they got a Punisher about to spawn as well. And, well, like the old phrase goes in Hearthstone, mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made, and I mean, it was really just the restraint shown by the red team, just waiting to cap that Punisher because they saw how much pressure they had, getting the maximum value out of it. So the Punisher doesn't even take any damage until he's, I guess, wailing on the inner wall there. And we've got Dahaka making sure they can try and take a camp. He's just trying his best to get some, I guess, presence on that map, but he's going to have to burrow in soon because once that Punisher crashes through, there's going to be a fight happening here.
Fight is going to take place even earlier than that, Vandy. Blindside unfortunately forced to pop their Metamorphosis to get away. Same with the Emerald Wind too, so big ultimates used so early on into this one. And that Punisher is still quite healthy, down to 30%, but the Keep is now exposed. He's going to go in for the Frozen Root, and he does collapse onto one. There goes the 7-sided strike. They're looking for the Punisher, and the Punisher does drop now. Keep is down to half. This is potentially the re-engagement. We have a Mosh Pit, we have a Stage Dive, a Mosh Pit and a Strafe, as well as the Adaptation ready to pop. And they are going to try and get the chase on Nana. Vala does not have to slow on her multi-shot just yet, but it's going to get only stronger as this game progresses. There goes the isolation on towards Zarya. Can't really do much when he's stuck in that sort of mode. The Dragon's going to seal the deal. They get 1 for their efforts. And they are going to go back to the standard lane. Seems to be that red side now trying to recoup what blue team did there. Clearing out these side lanes that have been pushed in quite heavily.
I mean, it was really nicely executed by the blue team there to sort of gain some ground back, and the fact that they didn't lose the keep is actually quite valuable to them, so it's good to see. They're still in it, not all hope is gone, and they're recovering well. And Hiccup could be in a bit of trouble here, because just waiting for the rest of the team, but he was just so far out.
I'm not sure if we caught that on camera, but actually they carried on chasing. But I'm actually going to interrupt myself right now because there goes a 3-man stun into a slide into the mosh pit, trying to zone out this entire backline. Now the Shadow is so dangerously low. Geophoenix joins the fray, but he just gets instantly popped like a pimple, like your proactive solution. Make 3, make 4, and support goes, guys, I tried. be my friend. I'm on my own, but look at this. They are chasing, they are hunting, they want the kills. And they've got 4 for their efforts, 13 to 11 now in talents. It's starting to find a huge chunk of momentum in their favor right now, Vandy.
Blue team just needs to, I guess, just know when to sort of pull back and back off, because that fight was entirely under the fort and so much extra damage. Yes, they took out the drill. Yes, they took out everything, but once the minion's gone, it was almost like having a 6th person for the red team, and that's just where they went wrong. They keep overextending into the enemy's base, I guess, and that's just where it's all going wrong. They need to sort of have these skirmishes, have these good brawls away from the fortifications of the red team. Otherwise, they're doing everything right.
And that was it, and it was almost like we said during the draft, it's almost like a wave crashing in as both teams are trying to make things happen. You saw ETC going for the slide, Kerrigan went for the combo. It's almost a mash of keys where both teams are going, look, who can get the kill first, who can try and enable this? Well, Shadow got the mosh pit onto 1, but Kerrigan got the combination onto 3. And it's a numbers game when it comes to Heroes of the Storm. It's definitely not your 1v1 game, but there goes the combo straight onto Blindside, forced to pop his damage straight away. Emerald Wind comes across, Expulsion Zone zones out 2 other key targets, and Blindside there dropped literally a sliver of health, pops the mesh at the perfect time. Could this be the team fight they've been looking for so long now? They've been chasing onto it. Blindside does just jump in, but he's gonna get taken out. Runs into 4, had no support to back him up there. And they are now desperately, frantically running away. The laser drill comes out for good measure, but they are not finished there. Cyclone, he finds a stun, he chucks down the thunderclap, and he is preventing any possible re-engagement, any chance of comeback for this Shrine. 22 to 31. Shadow has already made amends to go up for the top lane there, because that keep is about to get pushed in from the Shaman camp. And it seems to be a familiar story once again. Arcane Punisher has spawned. It's a red Punisher, and it has got 1 mid lane in mind.
Oh, poor Blindside just getting baited in there by the shield, and that's what makes Zarya so strong. He was going in for the kill, hoping to get one, and boom, there you go. Zarya shield's just denying, and that's just when it went horribly wrong, and oh my goodness, this is not the fight that they want.
It's not the fight. It seems almost a bit of a panic at this stage, because they're trying to just make things happen. The Punisher is ready there. I mean, if you saw it, they went for the engage there. They popped 3 ultimates, but if the Punisher jumped in on him at the same time, it could have been an absolute catastrophe. But there goes Kerrigan, looking to make things happen once again. Lands the combo. Blindside looking to try and do some damage wherever he can, trying to dodge those laser drills like it's a party.
Oh, there we go.
But it might be because CZN, he's been taken away. The Punisher jumps on top of him, but the strafe does the damage, and it comes across, picking up the kill. 16 to 13 now. They are a full talent tier behind, but the keep remained intact, both mid and both top.
That was a beautiful grab by GL Phoenix. Just such a sneaky one there, and then CZN got popped. The keep just helping his team out. But unfortunately, I mean, the blue team, I guess, has to really now focus on getting that level advantage back up. They're a whole talent behind, which is 3 levels almost, so they need to just make sure that they can just recover enough to get that talent before, I guess, the next fight breaks out. But we're going to see red team putting a lot of pressure on them as they sort of try to do so.
Now, here's an interesting stat to have a look at. If we look at the damage done, Illidan leads the way on 28,000 amongst every hero in this Nexus. He's had 5 deaths this game, but despite all that, he is hitting like a machine. So keep an eye on how he is progressing in these team fights. Hiccup does steal away the enemy camp. Yes, he gets MKO to pop the expulsion zone, potentially seeing if they could zone out Geo Phoenix, but he's not going to be phased by that one. Does run away. They're going to patiently clear out Mercs because they've got minions in the bot. They've got minions in the top too.
Minions in every lane. I mean, everyone's just sort of, I guess, rushing around to sort of clear out. But we've got, I guess, there's going to be a bit of a hard push going in mid now.
Well, Tychus is not going to be there. He's been given the call to run on in because it's going to be a 4v5. You can see how patiently they're waiting. Ice Station was popped extremely early there. It looked like Emerald Wind had been used too, trying to make something happen, but MKO has dropped to half now. The rest of the team has joined up. Tychus is looking to start things off now. Laser has been popped. Straight onto the Shadow. He's got 2 members in sight. Blindside instantly jumps, but right now the team is split in 2 halves. They are fighting their own battles, which you can see the red side as a whole unit are looking to make things happen. There we go. The dash comes across, does nuke out that stun, but the expulsion zone doesn't get the second job. He gets the drag. He's only got Cold Star and support. And well, good old Brightwing can't bring the deeps when it comes to this one. That is going to be a dead keep. And it seems to be the case of that fight. It was a game of 2 halves, 2 split teams versus a team that stuck as a unit. And that's really what it comes down to.
They really just got so isolated and segmented quite early. And MKL, they're just being so sneaky, just trying to get that extra damage in wherever he can with his maximum energy. Just showing, I guess, why Zarya is such a nuisance.
Well, I think Azai is an extremely strong pick here, and you can almost say that they can pick themselves by taking the Illidan into it. You see Illidan jumping into the fray. He's got a Kerrigan, he's got an Illidan, Azaya amongst the rest of it to try and contest with, and without much support except for the fact that Brightwing is having a hard time trying to stay alive.
Zara's just really denying, I guess, what Illidan can sort of bring. Yes, he's doing the damage, but it's not quite killing anybody because Zara's just doing too good of a job keeping everyone alive alongside Karazim.
Well, it's damage that looks good on the leaderboard, but it's not the damage that matters in terms of winning the team fights. And definitely you can take your screenshots, post it on Reddit, and feel good about your life. But if you didn't win the game, does it really matter? That's the brunt of the of the matter when it comes to it. But 2 keeps are being dropped already. You can see Dahaka in the top lane looking to try and even out that deficit. But it's all eyes on the bot lane right now. A Mortar Punisher, full health, running on in, and they got their set sights on this final keep to try and even out this game and get the win.
I mean, Mortar Punisher, I guess, is sort of a godsend for the blue team. At least it's not the deadliest, but oh my gosh, we've got everyone just sort of...
Yeah, no, blindside forced to pop their Metamorphosis defensively once again. There goes the 7-sided strike to take out one. Shadow gets a big mosh pit onto 4 members. He's trying to make something happen. The isolation does come across and they find the first kill. They're taking out Kerrigan. Finally, they can try and make something happen now. It's a 1v1 in terms of members being taken out. Geofed is taking on the world right now. The Essence Collection popped and it is keeping him alive for so long. This could be the turnaround. He gets the drag. He makes it a second one. Karazim gone. That is a support out of the mix. And this is where Illidan starts to have fun. When your team is completely disorientated, this is when you can take them out one by one, taking on Zaya, saying, look, you've given me so much hell all game long, but now I can get some vengeance. I'm going to take out your tank now. I want the full team ace. Stun comes across. The slow from Fergie is going to be enough to keep him slowed. Do get the full team wipe, but at this stage, they can't really do too much. They had to push out all these lanes. The keep did actually survive, though, amongst all that.
The Shadow being an MVP there. Getting that mosh pit once and for all, locking down the team members and letting his team finally take out a member and finally bring a fair fight, I guess, to the team members of Red Team, as well as, I guess, having a bit of assistance from the key. But we'll overlook that. Let them feel good about it because it was a good fight. And Red Team just sort of overstayed their welcome right there. Once the Punisher dropped, they really should have backed off.
Well, this is the best time for them to fault that engagement. They weren't 20. This has allowed them now to not really do too much in terms of pushing these waves down and finding keeps of their own. They were so far pushed in themselves that really all they can get from this is a complete minion control of the map. And that is exactly what they've done. Camp in the mid, camp in the top, and another one to join in the mid as well. Just picked up there by Illidan. They're going to clean sweep this map, light it up blue. And, well, they need to then play it turtle. They need to get 20 themselves, find another definitive fight like that. And with respawn time is at 60 seconds, that is your win condition right there.
Exactly. They can't afford to get wiped now. Not at this time. Not with, I guess, an exposed base, because that is the win condition that the red team's been seeking. It's going to be a bit easier for the red team, even if they get wiped. There's still a lot of fortifications up to sort of slow their progress down to the core. But we're going to have to see it play out now. It's just going to be a battle of the smarts. But Illidan going up for a bit of a sneaky sneak. I'm not sure why he's gone so far ahead of his team, unless it's to clear, but he needs to watch out because I'm getting worried here for him.
He has no way of getting out. He's instantly running away.
Oh, thank goodness.
Just a quick second before, he could have had some problems. I was going to say they're in a bit of a dilemma right now. They have two keeps taken out. If they see that blue side are up there, red team can just pressure the core and go for the win. They need somebody of global pressure to do something, either in another lane or even just try and take that one out.
I mean, it's going to be an Arcane Punisher too, and this is sort of, I guess, becoming a late game Punisher, and they really hit hard. Even if they get this Punisher, it could be a win condition that they need.
Oh, this is going to be the fight. Isolation hits all targets right now. This could be so huge. It's going to go for the mosh pit, it seems, but not before the 7-sided strike comes out. Hiccup making things happen. The mosh pit wasn't even used. It was on cooldown for another 2 seconds, but it looks like Hiccup does get out just in a second of time. He gets the bottom of the stall, but no! He bolts into his own stun and completely baits out Illidan, taking out 3 members of the blue side. The fight was turned on its head. It just did not have the ultimates and the cooldowns available when they needed them. The stun connects onto Vala. And Fergie Games, well, he's trying to do as much as he can in the support of his support, but Coalstar, with no way of jumping, with no way of disengaging, they are delaying the inevitable. They got Hiccup solo taking that Punisher, they got the rest of the team filtering on through that top lane, and they have that keep in mind, with that core in mind, really. They want this win.
They want the win indeed, and I mean, they're going to try put up a valiant defense, but we can see MKL putting so much damage on Bogey Games. He just keeps hitting him when the shield is up, and then Expulsion Zone sort of delaying him out. Coltstar trying his best to sort of stall and just be a bit of a nuisance. See the strafe going out, but I don't think it'll be enough, Skimmy.
No, it's not going to do anything at this stage of the game. It's literally tickling the members of that team. And you can see, even if Hiccup does do stuns like that, it's not going to matter. That core is dropping fast. Even before the Punisher rocks up to the party to get the final hit, he is going to go for the kill still. He punches the core, he secures the win, and Red Team pick up their second win of the day.
Oh my gosh, that was a whirlwind right there. We saw some, I guess, good fights, and we saw some terrible fights, and then we saw some decent fights. And I guess a call out would be the biggest thing that I could see where the blue team unfortunately went wrong was they just kept fighting in the red team's territory. And I just couldn't understand why. I'm like, they're just doing so well otherwise, but every time they ran in, they were just getting caught under fortifications, getting slowed, not being able to do anything, and then just getting cleaned up.
Game of discipline, and you could see when it came to those team fights, it really did show how much of a different page both sides were on. You could see the biggest example being that one in the mid lane where we saw both teams deciding on different strategies, one sticking as a unit, the other team splitting up and trying to really pick members off. And we brought it down to that draft. The synergy we didn't think was there as much on the blue hand side. They did have some great fights when it did all come together, but consistency is definitely the key. But nonetheless, a great game otherwise. We're going to jump to a quick commercial break, guys, as we get the next game underway. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, I'll just jump in there again at the end. So once again, we ended up with the game about 13 minutes ahead of the stream. So we're going to let it play out this time so that you can at least get to the end of the game. And then we will be switching over to YouTube, and we'll paste the YouTube link into Twitch chat so that you can easily switch over to that. We'll give the YouTube a try since we've been having such issues with Twitch today. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
It ain't realistic. I keep trying to make the pieces fit with the info presented. I felt resentment. I held this against myself. I want to help my friend. It stays in my head that I was on a stage when you were laying in bed. Body was discovered by your own mother. It penetrates my chest. I still taste the regret that I slept through a late night call from your homie. But then I spoke with Sadiq the next morning, and then I smoked 1 million cigarettes. Go figure, maybe I was trying to catch up with you. Flicker.